this negative Nancy, but we're just talking about things that don't serve you, right? So that's just what we're gonna clear out here. Okay, cool. And then we will set that in our abalone shell right off to the side here. Awesome. So, alright, so let's go ahead and get into chapter 17's summary. So, the date is August 9th, just a few days ago, 1757. And Monroe has surrendered, and the British were leaving the fort, expecting safe travels while the natives expected plunder. A native went after a civilian woman to steal her shawl, but the woman managed to pull away and thwarted the exchange. The native then took her baby out of her arms and slammed its head into the rocks, and then used his tomahawk to strike the woman over the head as well. Cooper was very descriptive in illustrating this horror, which is historically true. After the insult to the natives, Cooper lets Magua be the instigator of this tragic event. I mentioned in the last video there was an episode of Jack Osborne's Portals to Hell. They visited the site of this tragedy to see if it's a portal to hell. And I saw this episode just after I finished reading the chapter, so that was kind of neat. But anyway, Magua starts a huge historic massacre of the British while he captures Alice, and Cora chases after them with Gamut close behind. They came upon the Narragansett horses, and Magua takes Alice. Cora gets on another horse to follow with Gamut close behind, since Hayward put him in charge of the girl's safety, while Hayward led the army out. And he and the girls managed to survive. Gamut and the girls managed to survive because Gamut chooses to sing his psalms for safety, while the natives mistake his singing for bravery or insanity, and leave them be. And they rode off until the screams were silenced by the triumphant chants of the natives. And that's where we leave off in chapter 17, and where we pick up in chapter 18. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, chapter 18. Why anything? An honorable murderer, if you will. For naught I didn't hate, but all in honor. So that's from Othello, Shakespeare again. The bloody and inhuman scene, rather incidentally mentioned than described in the preceding chapter. I said described. The bloody and inhuman scene, rather incidentally mentioned than described in the preceding chapter, is conspicuous in the pages of colonial history by the merited title of The Massacre of William Henry. We just talked about that, didn't we? It so far deepened the stain which a previous and very similar event had left upon the reputation of the French commander, that it was not entirely erased by his early and glorious death. It is now becoming obscured by time, and thousands who know that Montcalm died like a hero on the plains of Abraham have yet to learn how much he was deficient in that moral courage without which no man can be truly great. Pages might be written to prove from this illustrious example the defects of human excellence, to show how easy it is for generous sentiments, high courtesy, and chivalrous courage to lose their influence beneath the chilling blight of selfishness, and to exhibit to the world a man who was great in all the minor attributes of character, but who was found wanting when it became necessary to prove how much principle is superior to policy. But the task would exceed our prerogatives, and as history, like love, is so apt to surround her heroes with an atmosphere of imaginary brightness, it is probable that Louis de Saint-Véran will be viewed by posterity and only as the gallant defender of his country, while his cruel apathy on the shores of the Oswego and of the Horican will be forgotten. Deeply regretting this weakness on the part of a sister muse, we shall at once retire from her sacred precincts within proper limits of our own humble vocation. The third day from the capture of the fort was drawing to a close, but the business of the narrative must still detain the reader on the shores of the Holy Lake. When last seen, the environs of the works were filled with violence and uproar. They were now possessed by stillness and death. The blood-stained conquerors had departed, and their camp, which had so lately rung with the merry rejoicings of a victorious army, lay a silent and deserted city of huts. The fortress was a smoldering ruin, charred rafters, fragments of exploded artillery, and rent mason work covering its earthen mounds in confused disorder. A frightful change had also occurred in the season. The sun had hid its warmth behind an impenetrable mass of vapor, and hundreds of human forms which had blackened beneath the fierce heats of August were stiffening in their deformity before the blasts of a premature November. The curling and spotless mists which had been sailing above the hills toward the north were now returning in an interminable dusky sheet that was urged along by the fury of a tempest. The crowded mirror of the Horican was gone, and in its place the green and angry waters lashed the shores as if indignantly casting back its impurities to the polluted strand. Still the clear fountain retained a portion of its charmed influence, but it reflected only the somber gloom that fell from the impending heavens, that humid and congenial atmosphere which commonly adorned the view, failing in harshness and softening its asperities, had disappeared. The northern air poured across the waste of waters so harsh and unmingled that nothing was left to be conjectured by the eye or fashioned by the fancy. The fiercer element had cropped the verdure of the plain, which looked as though it were scathed by the consuming lightning, but here and there a dark green tuft rose in the midst of the desolation, the earliest fruits of a soil that had been fattened with human blood. The whole landscape, which seen by a favoring light in a genial temperature, had been found so lovely, appeared now like some pictured allegory of life, in which objects were arrayed in their harshest but truest colors, and without the relief of any shadowing. The solitary and arid blades of grass rose from the passing gusts, fearfully perceptible. The bold and rocky mountains were too distinct from in their barrenness, and the eye even sought relief in vain by attempting to pierce the illimitable void of heaven, which was shut to its gaze by the dusky sheet of ragged and driving vapor. The wind blew unequally, sometimes sweeping heavily along the ground, seeming to whisper its moanings in the cold ears of the dead, then rising in a shrill and mournful whistling, it entered the forest with a rush that filled the air with the leaves and branches it scattered in its path. Amid the unnatural shower, a few hungry ravens struggled with the gale, but no sooner was the green ocean of woods which stretched beneath them past, and then they gladly stopped at random to their hideous banquet. In short, it was a scene of wildness and desolation, and it appeared as if all who had profanely entered it had been stricken at a blow by the relentless arm of death. But the prohibition had ceased, and for the first time since the perpetrators of those foul deeds which had assisted to disfigure the scene were gone, living human beings had now presumed to approach the place. About an hour ascending every hillock to reconnoiter. So hillock is like hills or mounds, or every little dirt mound to reconnoiter, or the expanse of like the observed region, right? It's like a regional military term. So it's just letting us know that they've searched high and low, every nook and cranny, and indicating by gestures to his companions the route he deemed it most prudent to pursue. Nor were those in the rear wanting in every caution and foresight known to forest warfare. One among them, he also was a native who moved a little on one flank and watched the margin of the woods with eyes long accustomed to read the smallest sign of danger. The remaining three were white, though clad in vestments adapted both in quality and color to their present hazardous pursuit, that of hanging on the skirts of a retiring army in the wilderness. The effects produced by the appalling sights that constantly arose in their path to the lake shore were as different as the characters of the respective individuals who composed the party. The youth in front threw serious but furtive glances at the mingled victims as he stepped lightly across the plain, afraid to exhibit his feelings, yet too inexperienced to quell entirely their sudden and powerful influence. His red associate, however, was superior to such a weakness. He passed the groups of dead with the steadiness of purpose and an eye so calm that nothing but long and inveterate practice could enable him to maintain. The sensations produced in the minds of even the white men were different, though uniformly sorrowful. One whose gray locks and furrowed lineaments, blending with the martial air and tread, betrayed, in spite of the disguise of a woodsman's dress, a man long experienced in scenes of war, was not ashamed to groan aloud whenever a spectacle of more than usual horror came under his view. The young man at his elbow shuddered, but seemed to suppress his feelings in tenderness to his companion. Of them all, the straggler who brought up the rear appeared alone to betray his real thoughts without fear of observation or dread of consequences. He gazed at the most appalling sight with eyes and muscles that knew not how to waver, but with execration so bitter and deep as to denote how much he denounced the crime of his enemies. The reader will perceive at once in these respective characters the Mohicans and their white friend, the scout, who, together with Monroe and Hayward, it was in truth the father in quest of his children, attended by the youth who felt so deep a stake in their happiness, and those brave and trusty foresters who had already proved their skill and fidelity through the trying scenes related. When Uncas, who moved in front, had reached the center of the plain, he raised a cry that drew his companions in a body to the spot. The young warrior had halted over a group of females who lay in a cluster, a confused mass of dead. Notwithstanding the revolting horror of the exhibition, Monroe and Hayward flew toward the festering heap, endeavoring, with a love that no unseemliness could extinguish, to discover whether any vestiges of those they sought were to be seen among the tattered and many-colored garments. The father and the lover found instant relief in the search, though each was condemned again to experience the misery of an uncertainty that was hardly less insupportable than the most revolting truth. They were standing silent and thoughtful around the melancholy pile when the scout approached, eyeing the sad spectacle with an angry countenance. The sturdy woodsman, for the first time entering the plain, spoke intelligently and aloud. I've been on many a shocking field, and followed a trail of blood for weary miles, he said, but never have I found the hand of the devil so plain as it is here to be seen. Revenge is a native feeling, and all who know me know that there is no cross in my veins, but this much will I say here, in the face of heaven and with the power of the Lord, so manifest in this howling wilderness, that should these Frenchers ever trust themselves again within the range of a ragged bullet, there is one rifle which shall play its part so long as flint will fire or powder burn. I leave the tomahawk and knife to such as have a natural gift to use them. What say you, Chingachgook? He added in Delaware. Shall the Hurons boast of this to their women when the deep snows come? Mohican darted away at the suggestion, and the scout had hardly done speaking before the former raised a cry of success from the margin of the forest. On reaching the spot, the anxious party perceived another portion of the veil fluttering on the lower branch of a beech. Softly, softly, said the scout, extending his long rifle in front of the eager Hayward. We now know our work. But the beauty of the drill must not be deformed. A step too soon may give us hours of trouble. We have them, though, and that much is beyond denial. Bless ye, worthy men, claimed Monroe. Whither then that they have fled, and where are my babes? The path they have taken depends on many chances. If they have gone alone, they are quite as likely to move in a circle as straight, and they may be within a dozen miles of us. But if the Hurons or any of the French natives have laid hands on them, 'tis probable they are now near the borders of the Canadas. But what matters that? Continued the deliberate scout, observing the powerful anxiety and disappointment of the listeners exhibited. Here are the Mohicans and I on the end of the trail, and rely on it, we find the other, though they should be 100 leagues under. Gently, gently, Uncas, you are as impatient as a man in the settlements. You forget that light feet leave but faint marks. Exclaimed Chingachgook, who had been occupied in examining an opening that had been evidently made through the low underbrush which skirted the forest. returned the scout, looking closely around the trees, the bushes, and the ground. What have we there? Uncas, bring hither the thing you see dangling from the yonder thorn bush. When the native had complied, the scout received the prize, and holding it on high, he laughed in his silent but heartfelt manner. "'Tis the tooting weapon of the singer. Now we shall have a trail a priest might travel," he said. "Uncas, look for the marks of a shoe that is long enough to uphold 6 feet 2 of tottering human flesh. I begin to have some hopes of the fellow, since he has given up squalling to follow some better trade. At least he has been faithful to his trust," said Hayward. "And Cora and Alice are not within a friend." "Yes," said Hawkeye, dropping his rifle and leaning on it with an air of invisible contempt. "He will do their singing. Can he slay a buck for their dinner, journey by the moss on the beaches, or cut the throat of a Huron? If not the first catbird," which means there's a footnote. "The powers of the American mockingbird are generally known, but the true mockingbird is not found so far north as the state of New York, where it has, however, two substitutes of an inferior excellence, the catbird, so often named by the scout, and the bird vulgarly called ground thresher. Either of these last two birds is superior to the nightingale or the lark, though in general the American birds are less musical than those of Europe. If not the first catbird he meets is the clever of the two. Well, boy, any signs of such a foundation." Here's something like the footstep of one who has worn a shoe. Can it be that of our friend? Touch the leaves lightly, or you'll disconcert the formation. That is the print of a foot, but 'tis the dark hairs, and small it is too, for one of such noble height and grand appearance. The singer would cover it with his heel." "Where? Let me look on the footsteps of my child," said Monroe, shoving the bushes aside, bending fondly over the nearly obliterated impression. Though the tread which had left the mark had been light and rapid, it was still plainly visible. The aged soldier examined it with the eyes that grew dim as he gazed, nor did he rise from his stooping posture until Hayward saw that he had watered the trace of his daughter's passage with a scalding tear. Willing to divert a distress which threatened each moment to break through the restraint of appearances by giving the veteran something to do, the young man said to the scout, "As we now possess these infallible signs, let us commence our march. A moment at such a time will appear an age to the captives. It is not the swiftest leaping deer that gives the longest chase," returned Hawkeye, without moving his eyes from the different marks that had come under his view. "We know that the rampaging Huron has passed, and the dark hair, the singer, where is she, of the yellow locks and blue eyes? Though little and far from being as bold as her sister, she is fair to view and pleasant in discourse. Has she no friend that none care for her? God forbid she should ever want hundreds. Are we not now in her pursuit? For once I will never cease the search till she is found. For one, I will never cease the search till she is found. In that case we may have to journey by different paths, for here she has not passed, light and little as her footsteps would be." Hayward drew back, all his ardor to proceed seeming to vanish on the instant without attending to this sudden change in the other's humor. The scout, after musing a moment, continued, "There is no woman in the wilderness could have such a print as that, but the dark hair or the sister. We know that the first has been here, but where are the signs of the other? Let us push deeper on the trail, and if nothing offers, we must go back to the pane and strike